Oh, good morning, Charles. How are
I'm
you
doing great.
today? Good, coming at you from Toronto. We've spoken many times, so representing Canada. You know you've got huge
I
fans
do. In
here.
fact, we'll mention inside this, it is definitely a plan of mine to get up there and tour with some of the songs of Nashville. Two of my great friends, Colin Linden plays guitar on the show here. He played Deacon's guitar.
Yeah.
And Colin Mockery, my friend from Whose Line Is It Anyway, they just met the other night up there and sent me a picture from an event in Ottawa. It was beautiful seeing my two Canadian
Oh, that's
Collins meet up there,
amazing.
yeah.
I love that. Those are our two best Collins. I have to agree.
Yeah,
No
I
question
agree.
about it. Okay, Charles. What can I say? Being a huge fan of the show, I've never missed an episode. And last time we spoke, we were saying how bittersweet it is, but now that it's wrapped, how are you feeling? I mean, I know things can go on musically for you, but just not being on the set with this amazing
Well,
cast
that's
every
going to be the
day.
hardest part. We're still in the summer. Every year we had our summer break, and so we were used to being apart from each other for that amount of time. But when that normal time comes that we would start back up in late August, we're not going to be all sort of getting together again, and that's going to be hard. It's going to be strange, but in a real healthy way. We had that final season where we knew it was goodbye, so we treated it like that, and we took advantage of every moment. Everybody on the show, we didn't waste any time. We all knew how great we had it, and it was hard work for
Yeah.
sure, but it was also just great being around the cast and the crew. We'll run into each other, but it's almost like high school. You'll see each other, but it'll never be like when you're together every single day.
Of course, for sure. What was the very last day like when you guys had to say wrap? That was it.
It was incredibly emotional. Thank goodness, as a lot of Nashville scenes are, the scenes were emotional too, which meant that you were able
Mm.
to, you didn't have to fight that as hard as you might. I would be very difficult to shoot when you're very emotional with a happy scene and you're sort of, I can't really give away, it's a very special ending. But a type of ending that's not just satisfying for the viewer, but was satisfying for all of us that were
Yeah.
shooting it together. We had some time there in a um, very special place to us. The Ryman Auditorium has been not just the mother church of country music. That's of course where it gained its fame and is such a beautiful place. But it's been very important to the show as well. So to end up in such a gorgeous spot among those people we love, it was as apt and as meaningful an ending as I could have ever hoped for.
Yeah, and also I mean, there's a lot of things that we're waiting to wrap up. Everybody's store has little, things in their
Yeah,
storyline
yeah.
that we're dying as fans to wrap up. But for Deacon, he gets to confront his demons with his father, played by Ronnie Cox. How amazing was
It was
that?
so amazing. When I heard that Ronnie Cox was going to get to play my father, I was thrilled. I've been a fan way back, all the way to Apple's Way and Deliverance. He is just a very, very gifted actor, and it was my honor to be acting across from him all the time. But I was also thrilled and very glad that they were dealing with this aspect of Deacon's life, because we've touched on Deacon's bad relationship with his father, the hard beginnings that he had when he was growing up. And I think all those things sort of colored Deacon's characters and his demons that he fought the rest of his life. So it would have been very dissatisfying to me to sort of leave the show without finishing that last bit of business. And that last bit of business takes us all the way to the very final scene. So it was nice to know there was no place where we were just sort of skating and making shows. We were dealing with this character and his arc and his hopes and his dreams and who he was going to be every single second that we were shooting.
Yeah. What is so cool about this show is, as we were saying earlier, it's not just about shooting a show, because there's so much music. There's so much new music that we as the fans have gotten, that you have prepared for us. And you alone, I think, have about 30 or so
Hmm.
songs for yourself that you can go on tour with forever and ever, and also bring in some of the cast members and go on tour with them. So it's not like you are saying goodbye to them
No, I don't
forever,
think we will
because
be.
we will
And
get
I
to
don't
see
have
you
to
on
say goodbye to this
stage.
character like some others do. I mean, there's special things about Nashville all along the way, but even in ending up, any other show for the fans, you're left remembering, or you're left, yeah, you can binge watch, and I hope people do eventually start over and binge watch the whole thing again. But along the way, we have all this
For
music
sure.
that people have taken into their hearts and their homes and their headphones. And that is Nashville right there. You can go back to that place. And for me, I get to go back to that place and performing it. This week at CMA Fest here, I not only get to play on the Nissan Stadium stage, where I'm going to be joining some of my Nashville friends on stage, but I get to do the show called Deacon at the Franklin, where Charles Esten sings the songs of Deacon Clayborn. Alongside me is the great Canadian Colin Linden, who was the voice of Deacon Clayborn's guitar. Every Canadian should know that when you hear Deacon playing. You can see me playing. I learned how to do it, but that's Colin Linden. And he and I are definitely going to go out and play the songs of Deacon Clayborn. I cannot wait to get up to Canada and do that. We hear on social media the love they have for this show, and I got to tour up there with Whose Line Is It Anyway for a long time. Can't wait to get back and play these Nashville songs.
Yeah. Are we going to see you back doing that too, do you think?
I would not mind that. I did some guest starring roles. There's going to be one coming up this season, I believe, and maybe some improv on the road. I don't know exactly what that holds, but I'm very lucky guy that gets to do both and all of those things.
Yeah, you are. Well, we're lucky to have you, Charles. It's been such a pleasure, over the years being able to talk to you and thank you for this show because I like I said, never missed an episode. I can't wait for the last few. And by the way, I have bought all the Kleenex out from the drugstore. So
I don't know if you do. You might not. You might just need to get a ShamWow or something that's like super absorbent because we are going to end strong and we're going to end in a way that if Nashville's moved you before, it'll move you at the end.
Oh, it certainly has. And, I hope you give our, speaking of Canadians, those two Stella sisters, big hugs from us in Canada too, because it's been amazing to watch them
Colin
grow
Linden, who
from
I
the
said
beginning.
was irreplaceable. The voice, what he did is in the music of Deacon Clayborn, he made this character. I was saying Deacon's such a cool guy. It took two of us to play him. But the Stella girls, Lennon and Maisie Stella, thank you. Canada. There'd be no Nashville. It would not be the same without those two jewels. They are just the most talented. I'm not just talking about the singing or the playing or the writing. They're acting and also they're just hearts of gold. I love them so much.
Yeah, well, we love you. We love them. We love everybody on this show. I can't wait to get it all wrapped up, and I will look forward to seeing you in person when you come to Toronto.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'll be there in the
I'll
front
see you
row.
then.